Hey there, and welcome back to Ayana Wellness, forever blooming through movement and sound. In this video, we're going to dive deep into some Sun Salutation variations. There are so many good benefits to asana practice and Sun Salutations in the physical body as well as the emotional body. Physically, we know it's warming up the body and the muscles, stretching, strengthening muscles. It's also increasing heart rate, increasing lung capacity. Benefits for the emotional body are also super numerous. Number one, you are giving yourself something to focus on. So you're promoting focus and memory with the awareness on the breath. You're also reducing anxiety and stress by elongating your breath and keeping the awareness on it for long periods of time. Also in the emotional body, it's helping boost your energy level and mood. It helps foster emotional awareness as you bring your attention inwards. So let's get ready to move with some Sun Salutation variations. After completing 3 to 5 rounds of Sun Salutation A, we can start to add variations to progressively warm up other areas of the body in preparation for our standing sequences. So inhaling the arms up overhead and exhale back bending. Inhaling up and exhale folding forward, releasing the neck. Inhaling up halfway and exhaling your hands to the top of your mat, stepping back to plank or lowering to your knees as you go down through your vinyasa. Remembering to keep the elbows close to the side body as you lower down and progressively creating a more intense back bend as you go through each Sun Salutation, meeting in our downward dog. Always keeping that awareness on the breath. Inhaling up the right leg and exhaling it in between the hands, pointing both toes forward into lanes, and then rising up the arms and torso for a high lunge. We're squaring the hips, pointing them forward, engaging that back leg, and starting to deepen the bend in that right knee. Tucking the tailbone under, straightening the spine, and staying with the breath. And then lowering the hands down to the mat, stepping back, and going through your vinyasa. We meet in our downward dog. And we inhale the left leg up, exhaling it in between the hands. Same thing as on the other side, pointing the toes forward, rising the arms and torso up to stand, squaring the hips, engaging that back leg, tucking the tailbone under, straightening the spine, breathing deeply. Releasing any tension in your face muscles. And lowering the hands down to the mat, stepping back to go through your vinyasa. So that variation was targeting the back bend portion of Vinyasa Yoga. And this next Sun Salutation variation will target external femur rotation. So inhaling the right leg up and then opening the hips. So we're stacking right on left. The hands are still grounded into the mat. You're feeling a nice stretch in that right hip. And then squaring the hips, stepping that foot in between the hands, lowering that back heel and opening our arms up to a T, to our warrior two. You're checking your heel arch alignment and making sure that right knee is facing straight forward as you look over your fingertips. And maybe hinging forward into that front leg for the last couple breaths, and then lowering the hands down, stepping back to go through your vinyasa. And from our downward dog, we'll go for the other side. Inhaling the left leg up and opening that hip, stacking left on right. I like to keep my legs straight and flex my foot. You can also bend your knee, whatever feels best for you. And then we'll square those hips, stepping that leg in between the hands and lowering the back heel, opening up to warrior two on the other side. Checking that front knee, looking out over your fingertips, breathing deeply. Tucking that tailbone under as usual, straightening the spine, and starting to hinge into that front leg. And then lowering both hands down and stepping back to go through your vinyasa. And for our third variation, we'll walk our hands closer to our feet, hands on hips as you rise your torso up to stand. And we'll bring our weight into the right foot, lifting that left leg behind you. Maybe your big toe's still on the mat for stability. Maybe it's a couple inches above. But we're reaching our elbows back to open the upper chest, warming up that right ankle and the back. And then lowering that foot down to the mat and shifting the weight into the left foot as you bring the right foot up behind you. Again, maybe that toe's on the mat, maybe it's a couple inches above. And maybe with the last couple breaths, lifting that leg a little higher. And releasing that foot down to the mat. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Walking those hands to the top of your mat to step back and go through your vinyasa. And we meet back in our downward dog to go through our fourth sun salutation variation, inhaling the right leg up, exhaling it in between the hands. This is a twist, so we'll put the left hand in the center of the mat, inhaling the right arm up, looking up at those fingertips, really trying to push mostly into your feet and not rest too much on that left hand. Just using it to deepen the twist. And then lowering that right hand back down to the mat, stepping back and going through your vinyasa. As we meet in our downward dog, going for the left side, so inhaling the left leg up, exhaling it in between the hands, placing the right hand in the center, inhaling the left arm up, looking up at those fingers, pushing into the mat with your foot, with both feet, not just resting into that right hand, lifting up, breathing deeply, and exhaling the hand to the mat, stepping back and going through your vinyasa. And then the final sun salutation variation goes to forward folds. So inhaling the right leg up, exhaling it in between the hands, and rising the torso up halfway, 45 degrees, creating a nice diagonal line with your body. You're really leaning into that right leg, engaging that left leg behind you. Arms are by your ears, tucking your abs in, and lowering those hands to the mat, and going through your vinyasa. Meeting back in our downward dog, and we'll go for the left side. Inhaling the left leg up, and exhaling it in between the hands. Rising up the torso halfway for that half high lunge. You're at 45 degrees, leaning into that left leg, engaging the right leg behind you. Trying to keep your arms by your ears, not letting them sink down too much, and the abs tucked in. And finally lowering the hands down, stepping back and going through your vinyasa. So typically in a Vinyasa Yoga class, we're either touching on one or two, maybe three of those different topics: backbends, external femur rotation, twists, balance, and forward folds. But this was a nice review of all 5 of those and different variations we could do for each of those 5 topics. And we finish our sun salutation by inhaling, stepping in between our hands to come up halfway. Exhale to fold forward. Inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale, back bending. Inhaling the arms up and exhaling them down to heart center. You can also start and finish your sun salutation with chair pose. Thank you for practicing these sun salutation variations with me. Have a great day.